There's this other kind of music. I watch the young people and I see that they've taken it into the church, and when they're dancing and they have their hand here. Have you seen it?
Music is a spiritual thing. You don't play with music. If you play with music, you will die young.
I said reggae, for example. Where did it come from? What's the source of reggae music?
It is a spiritual music with spiritual ingredients for spiritual purposes.
To really understand all what we would show you in this video, please keep watching till you see things clearly at the end.
God is the author of music. Music is for worshiping and praising God. That's the primary thing it's supposed to do.
But since when the adversary, the master of deception, was cast down from heaven, it literally has been determined to distort that plan, as you heard from Pastor Chris, and introduced several strategies aimed to lead men astray.
One of the areas you must be very careful is in music. Symbolisms. Music. And I've warned, and you need to take this seriously.
Pastor Chris, who has been a great musical confidant for the likes of Sinach and many other global music ministers, reveals here that he has warned against certain symbolisms that we need to watch closely. These symbolisms are very rampant across mainstream media entertainment and are all aimed to promote immoral devices such as drug addiction, drunkenness, and all forms of immoral engagements. There is more to this. Listen.
When it comes to music and dance, they're connected to your emotions, directly connected to your soul. And that's what Satan wants. He wants to make connection with your soul. And the ultimate plan is to deter us from getting to relate properly with God and to get us to be a worshiper of the devil. I said reggae, for example. Where did it come from? What's the source of reggae music?
Music is psychology, see? And if the music does not penetrate the heart, the soul, and the mind, and the body, then you ain't gonna feel it. Because reggae music is not something that you hear, it's something you feel. See? And if you don't feel it, you can't know it. See? It is a spiritual music with spiritual ingredients for spiritual purposes.
And I've never seen anybody who was into reggae for a long time and didn't have demonic activities come into his home and into his life. And I'm serious. So don't deceive yourself. So, well, God has called me into this. If God is calling you into something, it needs to be pure. It needs to be from God. It shouldn't be something that's going to be bringing devils into your life. But reggae is not the only one. Have you ever noticed juju worshippers? They drum a lot. They drum a lot. And they dance a lot. A lot of the dancing steps that people get from the world, a lot of them are to demons. These are things that are the movements of devils. I've dealt a lot with people with evil spirits. Some of you may have been in some meetings where we're doing those things. The moment I start addressing the evil spirit, you see some, they start dancing. And the guy or the girl is not in control. They go like this. How many of you have seen them? And you think they're going to fall. They can bend in an awkward way and still be standing. Why? Because it's not them, it's the evil spirit. And they're twisting themselves in some funny way. If you began to drum for them, they'll show you their dance. The same dance that they do at the shrines.
Music is a spiritual thing. You don't play with music. If you play with music, you will die young. You see, because when the higher forces give you the gift of music, musicianship, it must be well used.
Unknown to many, music and acts have been so far used to promote all forms of negative worship and driving the agenda of the adversary for many years. Unfortunately, some of these things have also crept into the church.
Music that is not of God, I say it's very dangerous to go into some kind of music that is basically worldly, not known to be Christian, and then we want to Christianize it. How worldly should we get to win the world? How worldly should we be to win the world? How far should we go to get their attention? We have to be like them to do so? That is a confession of your spiritual bankruptcy. Because if you were full of the Spirit, just think the very thought of it. If the apostles said, you see, we have to be like the Pharisees to win them. That's not what Paul was saying when he talked about being like a Jew. That's not what he meant. But we don't have to now be like them. We don't have to have their music for them to listen to our music. We don't have to dance like them for them to think that we're dancing for God. Then there's this other kind of music. I watch the young people and I see that they've taken it into the church. And when they're dancing and they have their hand here. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Very stupid dance. Very stupid dance. Very offensive dance. And they've carried it from the world and brought it into church. The reason I'm telling you this is about symbolisms. There are dances that people have and they're doing them in churches, but these dances are demonic. They're inspired by demons. And they're being danced in churches by so-called music leaders and music, whatever they call themselves. What's actually happening is these are offerings and libations that are being offered to Satan through symbolisms. And demons thrive on these offerings. You have to understand. You have to understand. Demons feed on worship.
It's really great to understand that non-Christian music on its own is really different from all what it appears to be. It's been presented to be so entertaining and intriguing, but music like this have been used greatly as a negative weapon to drive the mindset of several young and growing individuals. The strange gods of music have mastered the act of repetitive administration of wrong ideas, thoughts, habits and lifestyles, hence making it active in their subconscious minds, a faculty which makes individuals act without much thinking and reasoning.
So not only their conscious thoughts now, it's going into their subconscious. The guy is sleeping and is dreaming things he should not be dreaming of. In the process of time, the demons start coming into their lives. Because it's an invitation to devils. First, unclean thoughts. Either they might be thoughts of fear or they're thoughts of a sensual nature. Unclean thoughts that come into them. You find a Christian, a nice Christian who loves the Lord, But now he's struggling with unclean thoughts, dirty thoughts, sexual thoughts. And he doesn't know where they're coming from. They're coming from the dance, they're coming from the music. They're coming sometimes from the books they're reading. How does Christ come into the heart of a man? When you believe in Jesus Christ, he comes into your heart. You don't see the process. It's not like you have a feeling and then somehow you're witnessing that Christ is coming in right now. He's coming in. Oh, he has entered. No, just by believing. All you do is you open your spirit to God, the Lordship of Jesus Christ, and bam, that's it. The light of God has come into your heart. The same process. You open those things and you're looking at things that the demons have inspired. Once your heart goes out to them, that's it. You have demons following you from then on.
It's really saddening seeing how much non-Christian music have been much of a great harm than good. We bless the Lord for great ministers like Pastor Chris and all others across the body of Christ who persist to destroy and teach believers how to stand against all form of negative vices and strategies of the adversary, which is the enemy of the church.
For disconnecting Satan and his works from the nations, from the cities, or disconnecting him, and he cannot proceed. He cannot proceed with his acts. He cannot proceed.
Please go out there and inform all those whom you know and love about this evil agenda being carried out through music. And most importantly, make sure you guard yourself against this negative agenda being carried out through music.